Hello everyone and happy 2025. This is my first video of the new year and it's a little delayed. I have been gone for about a little more than 2 weeks, and that is because the holidays were crazy busy. They were wonderful. We had my mother and father-in-law here visiting. It was so much fun, but very busy, and I didn't have much time to do any work. And then when they left, and then Leon went back to England because his classes started up again. I'm staying here for a little bit, but then I got a really bad cold. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. I have been sneezing a lot. My nose is in pretty bad shape, but I'm finally feeling better, so I thought it was about time that I filmed a video because I miss you guys so much. I'm so excited for all the content that I want to make. Some of my favorite videos every year to film are the end of year, beginning of the year videos where you talk about your reading of, your favorite books, the books you want to read in 2025, and all of your plans and everything. I love the end of the year, beginning of the year videos, so it's been very frustrating that I haven't felt well enough to film them. But today I'm going to tell you about my reading plans and potentially your reading plans for 2025 with the Wellread Book Club. The Wellread Book Club is the other book club that I host on Fable. So I host the Game of Tomes book club with my best friend Emma. We co-host that book club. It's so much fun. My last video was our 2025 reading plans for the Game of Tomes book club, so this video is going to be the reading plans for the Wellread Book Club. And if you don't know what the Wellread Book Club is all about, that is a book club that I have dedicated to reading from a different genre every month, because like a lot of readers, I feel like when you have a favorite genre or you have favorite genres, at least for me, I tend to not really stray from my comfort zones. And one of my goals throughout my entire life as a reader is to make sure I'm reading a lot of different books. I am well read, and so well read in terms of reading widely from a wide variety of genres. So every month we read from a different genre. Every month I have picked and planned out, especially for 2025, a different genre for each month, and that's what I'll be sharing with you today. I'll be sharing which genre is for which month, as well as some of the potential choices that I have already pre-planned. Others, in that later half of the year, I haven't planned as much because I want it to be more like spontaneous. And anyway, so every month I pick a genre and then I pick 4 books and I put a poll on Fable and you guys choose which book out of the 4 you want to read. And it's so much fun. In January, our genre was historical fiction, and we are reading Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. This is the naked hardback of the UK hardback edition, and I believe it's the Waterstones exclusive edition which has this. And it's also signed, which I completely forgot about until I started reading this book. I am a little less than halfway through, and I am in love. I am in love with this story. I'm so glad that we're reading it for the book club. I have been, oh my gosh, I just am blown away by this book. It's a 5-star prediction. This might be already one of my favorite books of the year, and it's the 3rd book I've read. I am incredibly happy that you guys picked this for the book club. I've been meaning to read it for ages. I started it, I think, a year or 2 ago, and I wasn't in the mood for it, so I put it down. I'm so glad that I'm loving it now. The writing is gorgeous. The story is basically about Shakespeare's wife and children, and not so much about Shakespeare himself. Something that Maggie O'Farrell does in this book that I adore is she never names Shakespeare. She never calls him by name. She always says Agnes's husband or Hamnet's father, or Eliza's brother, or the tutor, because he's a Latin tutor. I love that it's not so much about Shakespeare, but it's about his family. It is brilliant. It is beautiful. The descriptions in here, it feels like you're reading a painting. Like, it just, oh my god, unbelievable. I'm so glad that we're reading it for the book club. And if you want to join, it's not too late. You guys are more than welcome to join. There will be a link in the description to join the Wellread Book Club, and I might have a few little merchy items coming to my Etsy shop soon. So if you want to join the Wellread Book Club and get some merch, my nose, oh gosh, I'm sorry. I have just so many fun, exciting things planned for this book club, and I really feel like the picks have been fantastic for this book club, and I think we're going to read some all-time favorites. So, that is January's pick, which is already being read. Like I said, you can join whenever. Also, you don't have to join every month. You're not obligated. If a book gets chosen that you've either already read and don't want to reread or you're not interested in, there's no pressure at all. You can join whenever you want to, and I would love to have you read with us. So, February, the genre is plays, more specifically Shakespeare plays. So I didn't even plan this, that we're reading Hamnet and then the next month is Shakespeare plays, because I thought February, I wanted it to be kind of seasonal, like the genres match the season a little bit. And I was thinking of February being the month of Valentine's Day, and I thought how beautiful would it be to read a romantic play. And then I thought, well, of course, Shakespeare. So the choices are going to be, I'm not going to share the choices for every month, but I'm going to share the first few months, the choices that I'm thinking. They might change, so if you see a poll in the future and it's not exactly these books that I'm telling you in this video, don't be surprised, they might change, but these are the ones that I'm really confident in including. So we have Romeo and Juliet, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Hamlet, and A Winter's Tale. I have read Romeo and Juliet, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Hamlet, but I haven't read A Winter's Tale. A Midsummer Night's Dream is my favorite Shakespeare play, although I do love Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. And in February, I am also going to see Romeo and Juliet on Broadway with Rachel Zegler and Kit Connor, and I am so excited. I'm going with my sister and my cousin Michelle, and I can't wait. So if we pick Romeo and Juliet, that would be really cool for that reason as well. But I'm up for any of those choices, and I hope that you guys are excited about that. I really love reading Shakespeare plays, but I haven't in a really long time, so this is another way for me to really make myself get back into reading Shakespeare plays, and I think it would be so fun to read it together. So that's February. Then March, the choice is sci-fi, and I don't read a lot of sci-fi books, and I'm glad, again, this is another reason why I want to do this concept of reading from different genres, because I want to broaden my genre horizons. So the choices are Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. This is a book that I've been meaning to read for such a long time. I believe I included it in my books that have been on my TBR the longest video, and I told you guys I would read it. I haven't read it yet. I think that's been like a year since I filmed that, or less than a year, but I need to read Flowers for Algernon. Then the next one is A Psalm for the Wild-Built by Becky Chambers. This is a book that I've heard amazing things about, and I really want to read it. The third choice is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. I have not read any of Hank Green's books, although I really love listening to Hank and John Green's videos. I think that they're such wonderful people, and I'm really interested in reading from Hank Green. And then the fourth choice is The Ministry of Time by Colleen Bradley. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but I am really interested in this book. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, and then I didn't realize that Emma had read it, my best friend. She had read it in 2024, and it became her favorite book of the year. I was watching her video the other day, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't even know she read that. And it became her favorite book of the year. And then when I was listening to her talk about it, I was like, that sounds so interesting. So those are the four choices for March for sci-fi. Then April, the choice is poetry, and I have five, I was gonna say four. I have 5 choices for this month. I'm going to have to get rid of one of them, so maybe you can let me know in the comments which one, or which 4 you'd really love, or which one you think I should maybe get rid of as an option. The first choice is American Primitive by Mary Oliver, then Lunch Poems by Frank O'Hara, then Ariel by Sylvia Plath, then The Book of Hours by Raina Maria Rilke, And then the fifth one is If Not Winter, Fragments of Sappho. So those are the 5 choices. I need to narrow it down to 4, but I'm not sure which one to get rid of for April for poetry. Then in May, it's kind of funny. That's the only month that I'm choosing the book because I desperately want to read Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. It's a special pick that I have chosen, so there won't be a poll for May for the genre of classics because Mansfield Park is my last complete Jane Austen novel, and I would love nothing more than to read it with you guys. So I hope that that's okay, that for the month of May for classics, I am just choosing the book. I can't believe that I am going to be finishing all of Jane Austen's complete novels. I still have to read Sanditon and some of her other juvenilia that I haven't read. But right now I am reading the most incredible biography, and it's called Jane Austen at Home by Lucy Worsley, and I am nearly done with it, and I'm so desperate to not finish it. I love learning about authors. Jane Austen is one of my favorite authors of all time, and I just can't believe that I'm going to be finishing this biography. I've been loving it so much. Lucy Worsley is an incredible writer. Lucy Worsley presents Jane Austen in a way that's really unique because she centers it around the homes that she has lived in and the places that she has lived in and how they influence her and how they have influenced her novels. And it's talking about Jane Austen's life. I've learned so much about her, that little aspects and little things that I haven't known, and it's giving me such a new and different perspective on her writing and why she wrote about the things she wrote about. And I am just in such an incredible Jane Austen mood right now, and I don't want to finish this biography. I found out about this book through the podcast Books Unbound because Ariel Bissett listened to the audiobook of this book, and it became her favorite book of the year. And she was talking about how when she was getting to the end of it, she knew Jane Austen was going to die, but she didn't want to face that fact. And now I'm feeling the exact same way. I don't want to finish it because I don't want Jane to die, and I feel so connected to Jane. I feel so deeply for what she went through and the work that she gave to the world and how she completely changed the trajectory of literature and literary history. And it's just, oh my god, you have to read that biography if you are interested in Jane Austen. Even if you haven't read any Jane Austen, maybe that could be a nice introduction to her as a writer and as a person. So anyway, May, for the genre of classics, we are reading Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. Again, you don't have to join if you don't want to. I would love for you to join me as I read my last Jane Austen novel. I'm gonna cry. Then the next genres, I'm not going to show you or tell you the choices because I don't have a good amount picked out yet. Like the next month for June, we're going to read middle grade. The genre is middle grade that I've chosen, and I have 9 options on my phone right now that I need to narrow down. So I also want it to, like I said, be more spontaneous, like when it's, the middle of May, I can look at this and think, ooh, okay, which ones am I in the mood for? Which ones do I think people are going to enjoy? So anyway, the choice for June is going to be middle grade. July is going to be dystopian. August is going to be dedicated to literary fiction. September is going to be dedicated to nonfiction. October is going to be dedicated to a mystery story that is either going to be Agatha Christie or Sherlock Holmes or both. I have only read Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie, and I've never read any Sherlock Holmes. So I'm really excited to read Agatha Christie or Sherlock Holmes for the month of October for a mystery, because I feel like that could just be perfect. Then for November, the genre is fantasy, and then for December, I have put anything wintry. So I want that because it's going to be our last book and last pick of the year. I just want it to be anything that fits the season of winter, and have it be a little bit more free for that month. So those are the plans for the Wellread Book Club for 2025. I would love to know what you think. If you want me to include any other books that you think would perfectly fit a genre, if you have any suggestions or recommendations for any of the genres you think that I would enjoy, or we would all enjoy, to read a specific book together. I would really love to know, and I hope you're excited. I am so excited. Like I said, I've been loving Hamnet, and I feel like we are just off to such a great start with this book, and I really can't wait for all the other books that we're going to read in 2025. So I really hope that you join me. Like I said, there will be a link in the description if you want to join the Wellread Book Club, so you can get well read with me, Carolyn Marie Wellstead. And yeah, look out for some merch as well. I'm really excited. I've been designing them for a little while now, and I can't wait for you to see them. So anyway, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comments. Any suggestions, I would just love to hear from you and hear what you think. Just as a reminder, this book club isn't just my book club. Like, the point of hosting this book club is so that it can be your book club. So I would love to hear your suggestions and recommendations. And yeah, so please feel free to comment down below. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of the book club. If you have already joined and you are reading Hamnet with me, I'd love to know what you think. And I just want to thank you all so much for being here. And yes, the next few videos are going to be my favorite books of 2024 and my 2025 TBR, so definitely look out for those. I'm sorry that they're quite delayed, but I'm finally feeling better, so I'm excited to give those to you, and I hope that you're excited to see them. So anyway, I will see you very soon in another video, and as always, happy reading.